Hi everyone, my name is Kativhu, and I'm one of the young leaders at the United Nations for the Sustainable Development Goals. And my journey within education as an education activist began with going to university and being at Oxford and seeing that there just was a lack of diversity and a lack of inclusion in that space. And I wanted to really change that because I knew so many incredible young people from the area that I grew up in who were so smart and so talented, but hadn't had the same opportunities as our counterparts across the country. So once I was at Oxford, I just had this fire ignited in me to want to start vlogging about the experience, documenting how people can get into spaces like that. And very quickly, Oxford became a it became like a replacement for whatever someone's dreams were, like whether they wanted to work at JP Morgan, at the UN, go to Cambridge, go to Sheffield University, go to Birmingham, whatever it was that they were dreaming of. We began helping to campaign for that. And I would get my friends along and we'd go on YouTube and talk about how to write personal statements, how to apply for university, anything that they needed help with. And that really just stemmed from me seeing education as a superpower from a very young age, loving reading books. And the more that I knew, the more that I could speak my voice and the more that I could be heard and the more that doors were opening. So I just wanted to champion that for other people and use the internet as a way to do that. So that is how the journey began, by going to university and witnessing a lack of diversity. Seeing the amount of knowledge that I could gain from liking studying, from being really, really good at school, from like being the top performer. I just saw the way that different people would react to me. So the more that I was able to answer questions or to get my vocabulary better, like after learning English, I was born and raised in Zimbabwe. So being in the UK, I needed to learn English. And the more that I could read, the more I could write, I just felt invincible. So I really grew to love education as a best friend. Like my best friends were in books. Like I found them to be more enjoyable than movies or playing outside. So I feel like it began from a very young age where the stories I was reading were so incredible that I wanted to write my own stories or be in the stories. So education, studying, writing, learning, it just became so addictive for me. Like it just became this thing that made me feel so good. So I think that passion was ignited from a very young age. Like I can't remember when it began exactly, but I definitely think it was from the age of like 7 or 8. Fast forward to finishing university and having done my undergrad and my master's degree, I fell into that world of advocacy by using the internet to let young people around the world know that they're worthy and they're able to step into these places. And I would share resources with them. And the more resources I would share, the more that I was leaning into my own nonprofit organization called Empowered by V, where we just work to make higher education more accessible for underrepresented groups. The more we were doing that work, we saw the impact it was having on young people. We saw so many young people from backgrounds that had never stepped foot in places like Oxford, Cambridge, or any of the Russell Group universities in the UK. We saw them getting this passion, being able to feel like they belong, being able to go back to their homes and advocate for other people. So the more that we saw that impact in real time, I was like, I need to start doing this in other places in the world as well. And we'd get invited by different schools and organizations in Zambia, in Cambodia, in South Africa, in Zimbabwe, in India, everywhere, just saying we really would love to come and hear more about these empowerment workshops that you're running and how you're gearing other young people up to really want to take control of their lives and to explore their passions. So, yeah, most of my time is spent with other young people in rooms where we're sitting down with our notepads and pens, and I'm teaching them different empowerment skills on how they can live their lives of passion and purpose and how education can be a tool and a resource for that. So, yeah, the advocacy is keeping me very busy. I'm traveling all the time. I'm meeting with different people in governments in India, governments in Germany, different places, advocating for more funding for education for those underrepresented groups. And then for the students who are in education, teaching them how to not only get in school, but stay in school and what resources they need. So it's everything to do with academic empowerment and students. And I'm just all over it. yeah, I mean, if people want to support the work, there's always Empowered by V. That's the nonprofit organization, the platform that we're running, supporting different underrepresented students. So you can support us by following us on Instagram, sharing our work, letting us know about any young people that you know in your area who might need us, and just send us their info on Instagram or DM us or email us or just share our work really. The more people we reach, the more impact we can make. So yeah, find us on at Empowered by V on Instagram, on Twitter, on LinkedIn. Everywhere is Empowered by V.